Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back for another slime video. And when this video comes out, I will be at my week-long conference away from home. So this will be filler video number 1. And it's a filler video because technically I've already done a showcase on Rain, but it was using my old Asia alt account, and I haven't touched that since like the actual anniversary in November. So I figured now that I have actually pulled Rain on my main account where I have everybody mostly, it's time to do a better showcase for her. So, Rain! It's an easy video to put out and schedule and pre-record and do all that. So hopefully you guys are having fun. I can tell you for certain that I am not having fun being stuck in a room with a bunch of people for 4 days straight. So hopefully your day is going better than mine is next week. So, moving on to the actual point of the video, Rain is an older unit. She came from the Space 2.0 meta, which was an AoE-focused meta. It also introduced the concept of instant damage. So as soon as you use a skill, bam, damage on the target. And that was it. You didn't even have to send orbs. You just did instant damage, which is now a more common thing, because we know that the fire meta does it. We know that Earth Daggerel used to do it until his skill, well, he still does it if you don't have his skill revamped, which I don't recommend people do. But it was the first team to actually do it. So Rain is a physical space unit. They were physical. She's on Primal Demon. She uses a fist, which I'm going to have to borrow from Carrion, I think. And she has an AoE for 250% at level 80, and then back then the extra effects were not as useful. They were just kind of very random. They had guard power, they had poison evasion, they had bind dodging, and none of the stages that they were in actually had any of that. They were just there, so it was pretty useless. But she does give you poison evasion for 50% for 3 turns, so cool beans. Her first skill, which I don't have maxed out, I don't have any of her skills maxed out, but she deals up to 300% basic space physical attack to all targets. That is based on your actual attack stat, and then boom, instant damage to 3 people, or 2 people, or 1 person. But she also hurts herself for 25% of max HP, so it's not something you really want to use too often, because, you know, yeah, 300% damage is cool, but also you're cutting your HP down. Not really the best thing to do unless you have a dedicated healer on the team. The second skill, much more useful. Decreases all targets' space resistance by 23% up to 25%, and then increases your crit damage by 15%. And both of those are for 2 turns, which means you can use them multiple times. That is a much better skill, because until Rain came out, the person upping your crit damage was Space Carrion. And where is he? He's right here, and he did 20%. So you lost 5%, but Rain is also lowering space resistance, which is more important if you're running a space team than Carrion giving himself a 20% attack buff, because generally you're probably using Space Millum, who is the nuker, not Carrion. But that is it for Rain. I don't have her duped up, so I don't have her trait. What is her trait? I actually don't even know. 70% or lower HP increases her own attack by 3 to 5%. Alright, cool. And she's an old unit, so she doesn't have a Valor trait either. So yeah, that's Rain. Let's put her on the dedicated Space 3.0 team and see how she does. Alright, so first stage we're going to take her into is her dedicated Tempered Edge with my low EP squad. 84 Guy, 80 Rain, 80 Velzard, 80 Leon, and my 100 hero and my 112 goddamn Space Millum. So this was technically one of the versions of the team you would use for this specific Jubilee when it came out. It definitely was not great. This was one of the weaker teams, but Guy at the time was really good because he does do a 3-in-3 orb change, just like Frey, just like Shizu, and he also gives you 35% ult gauge, and puts an AoE debuff on the enemy. So all these characters, minus Misery, are AoE units. So we're going to use the Primordial girls together, the Primordial waifu maids, Misery and Rain, which is why I came up with that title. But obviously their stats are quite horrendous. Leon has his own personal alt buff, so he's got Velzard, and then the hero is the hero. So let's... I don't think these hands were set, but I guess we're going to find out after I get some more stamina. Alright, we'll try and make this work. So let's go ahead and bring in the hero for Velzard, and then we'll just send these orbs and pray that we get a better hand next turn. Maybe? Alright, this is only EX2, by the way. Okay, well that's an interesting hand. This is only EX2, because I wasn't entirely sure, and I totally forgot that they bind you in. Alright, well, let's use the green buff from Misery. So she buffs gauge increase by 30% and damage on greens by 15. So she is kind of like the free-to-play Albus, or not Albus, but Isis. But instead of damage that Misery does, Isis just does 50% on all gauges, which is really nice. And then nerfs oranges, but we're running a green-focused team, so it's not really that important. And we also have a healer, which would work to top up Rain. So we don't have enough points to use both of those, so we'll hold off for now. But this will get us quite a bit of points with these 3 greens. It will also get us Guy, which will be a nice hand right there. Okay, cheeky counter, why not? That gets us an alt for Misery. So, we can show off the instant damage kind of whole aspect here. So let's do that. So Rain, 298% basic space physical attack, and then hurts herself for 25, so let's do that. And we do 8,000-ish damage right there. And then we can see that we took some damage, so now let's heal that back. There we go, we're back up to full. So that's kind of how that worked. And we haven't sent any orbs yet, we just did the space damage, and that's it. So, let's go ahead and... how do I want to work this? Do we use Guy here? Sure, why not? Let's use everything right here. So space resistance, crit resistance down. We'll get Guy for the 6, well, technically 5 orbs right here because we have an alt. This gives us 35% of the gauge. I also have a heal charm on him to keep us nice and topped up. And we'll go ahead and do this. Misery is a single target, but she's a free-to-play unit, so she's not going to hit the hardest in the world. 24,000, alright. 43, 7,300 is better for the hero, but no one here was giving crits, right? So next turn, or maybe this turn, we can use the hero's crit buff and help us do a bit more, except we have 4 blues, which we can't do anything about because our orb changer is in the back. So I think we'll just send this and call it good, because we still have one more turn of those debuffs that are put on everybody from Rain. And we can do another instant damage, probably. Just like what they did there. So let's do it again. Alright, she healed herself a lot, so that was a waste. Alright, so let's get you out of here. Let's get you in. And then let's get, I think... oh, her buff ran off, so let's do that. Let's make sure the greens are buffed up, because that's going to be important. Then we'll get you out. And then we can use a few more skills. So we can use Velzard, who also does 150% space attack, and Frostbites, which enhances the power of debuffs that are placed on an enemy. So there's that, 5,400 damage right there. Leon also has physical attack resistance down and defense down, and then his own alt buff does 100% physical damage, and then also as an alt buff, so we'll save that for later. So we'll put the defense down, physical attack resistance down, we'll use Guy. This will be a lot because we have boosted greens, we have a full hand of greens, we only have Misery and Leon, which works out because we'll use the hero next turn. And I think we'll send this right here. Alright, so we can do a lot of damage here. 6,000, 6,700. If it was the hero, she'd be doing like 10k now. So there's 14,000 damage. And they're hitting Velzard, which is fine. Alright, so let's now do this. Let's bring you in. Frostbite is still active. You can tell from that little purple icon right there. Some of the debuffs are still there, so let's bring the hero in. And now we can use her crit resistance down and give everyone crits. And then what do we need to reactivate? physical attack, defense, AoE, crit resistance. We need to use Leon's personal buff right here, so that's 100% physical damage plus his own buff, 5,000. And then that's the only points we have. Okay, so those are for 2 turns. That is... We don't have enough points to use that. Unfortunate. Alright, well, it is what it is. So let's just go ahead and use Guy, give us even more alt gauge here. So now the hero and Rain have a double alt. So let's send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll try and kill Valentine, maybe, I don't know. Rain, with her giant energy cannon that comes out of nowhere. Alright. Man, I haven't seen this in a long time. Demolish Cannon did 26,000 across the board. The hero, 40k. And then Leon with his alt buff and the crit buff, so he should do a lot more. We'll watch his too, because I don't remember last time I saw this either. Glorious End. How much? He's probably going to do like 50k, somewhere around there. 52, 53k, and we should kill... Yep, Valentine is dead. So there we go. That's the AoE team. I mean, we could have had Velzard up here as well for her AoE, but she would have been just as weak, if not weaker than Rain. So, there we go. That is the team right there. This works out pretty well. We have another AoE that we can do. So, let's see if we can kill Dino with the instant damage. Not quite. Alright, well, it is what it is. But we're going to kill them here now, so... Rain, 12,000. And then Hero, 19,000. And then the Hero finishes it up. So there is using Rain on her meta team. So let's try and take her somewhere else, I guess. I don't know where I'm going to put her, but we'll find out. Alright, so next we're going to take her into Conquest against the Sky Dragon, who... I can't remember if he nerfs blues. He nerfs blues later on. Okay, well, we'll get to that point. But we're going to use Rain so we can buff up the crit damage and, well, just overall damage that Space Millen was going to do during her nuke. So Space Millen was going to get the buffs from Velzard. She's going to get the space resistance debuff on the dragon, plus the extra crit damage, considering that we're not bringing Carrion on this team. And then we have the ult, and then her space buff and Drago and all that. So technically, the extra crit damage that Rain is going to put on Millen is going to be higher because of the Drago effect. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The stage isn't difficult, but if you're just starting out and you pulled these units on your banner, well then here's a easy way to farm this then. Alright, we'll see if this stage works out. So we'll bring you in for, I think, Shuna, and then we'll bring you in. There we go. So we'll do this, we'll send these greens, we'll have enough points to do hopefully a decent orb change next turn. He's already taken a lot of damage. Yeah, okay, this works out. So, let's do the green. Let's get you out of here. And, oh, actually, hold on. We should get Millen out of here. That way she doesn't get attack nerfed. So then we'll get you out of here. Yeah, and then we'll do that. And then we'll send Shuna and Rimuru last so we don't do as much damage. So we can see at least some kind of potential that Millen can do. If we even get her ult. This thing might die before we get that. It doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, so there's that. Cool beans. Wow, no blues whatsoever. Alright, well, there's not much we can really do about that. Let's do... That's okay, well, just get you out of here. And we'll put the 2 stacks on Millen. We're not going to get an ult for Millen. This stage is way too weak. It's way too old. Yeah, so there's an extra 24% attack on Millen. Let's go ahead and send these orbs right here. We don't do a lot of damage. He's got guard and defense now, plus they've been attack lowered. Alright, we can work with this, can we? Yeah, so let's steel and then green. Steel, green. Before the blues get nerfed, because I think they get nerfed next turn. Let's get you back in here. And then let's get you in for Shuna. So we'll send Rain, then we'll send Milim. This will be a decent amount of points. Almost an ult for Milim. Alright. And then we need 110 plus another 15 each, right? Okay, this will get us our ult. And probably enough points. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So next turn we'll nuke with Milim, and we will completely annihilate this thing. Cool. Okay, so let's get one more stack, and then we'll use Rain's skill to up the crit damage and lower the space resistance on the enemy. Well, his guard goes away next turn. We could just hold off. We could just hold off. We could send Rain's ult for funsies. Why not? Let's do it. There's no harm in it. Okay, so let's do the crit buff, the Drago, the space attack buff, the space resist. Actually, yeah, the space resistance down. Actually, let's do that first, and then crit damage up. Let's do that, and then we'll do the. We don't need to do that one. We'll do these. All right, why not? For funsies onesies. All right. And instant damage for 10,000, but she took herself down to 1 HP. So again, a skill that you really, really got to think about using, because it's going to put you in this scenario where, right, I'm literally dead. If he breathes on me, if he looks in my general direction, I'm going to fall over and have a heart attack. But let's see if Rain's AoE can do 34,000 damage, which I'm pretty certain she can. So she's got crit damage from the trait. She has 6% attack from the trait, 15% crit damage from herself, space attack, and then guaranteed crits. And then Milim over here, technically, she's going to hit much harder because she's got extra attack from the stacks, plus her Drago increasing the crit damage up to 16.8% attack, crit damage, space attack, crit rate, which doesn't matter. So let's kill with Milim. Let's just do Milim. She's the whole point of buffing this up. Yeah. I mean, she's an interesting unit. Will I use her anywhere? Really? No. But I am glad that I now have her in my box, so I can say that I have her. And we do 164,000 damage. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Alright. Turn 7, though. It's terrible. Alright, so there's Rain on that team. We can take her... I guess we can... Oh, we don't have their beatdown battle, do we? Oh, I was gonna put her... I guess we can do that. Hold on. Alright, well, we don't have the Space 3.0 beatdown battle, but we're gonna go back into the 2.0 beatdown battle, which we did earlier. But we're gonna use the 3.0 Space team because she can still work here because both teams were focused on AoE damage. So we're gonna use Ramris, which I know a lot of people forget that she's even a thing. We're going to use Rain, Sufia for the orb changing and charming, Shinsha here for the alt buff and the charm, the hero for more AoE, and then Xion as our primary DPS unit, who also has charm. So we'll see how this turns out. Yeah, we'll see if this goes. So we're going to want our DPS units up front along with our orb changers. So we'll get you out of here. And we'll get you in for Shinsha. Cat, calm down. Alright. And then we'll send these. And then hopefully we get just another green and 2 oranges. Almost. Not quite, but almost. There's the bind. We get more oranges coming in, but I guess we get 3 Xion orbs. I mean, that's cool, I guess. We'll send those. And, okay, there we go. Unfortunate that they're all Sufia orbs, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. So we'll do this, And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of points right there. And counterattacks, because why not? 4,900 damage. So if you don't remember what Romulus does, she puts the 40% charm effect on, which gives you... was it 40%? I actually don't remember. Hold on. We're gonna use her. 45% alt gauge at the end of the enemy's turn. And then space attack by 15%, which is cool. And then extra 40 skill points, just like Toa and Frey do. So, let's go ahead and charm everybody. So let's put a charm on you. Let's put a charm on you. And then we'll bring Shinsha in for Sufia. And we'll put a charm on Dino. Alright, and then Pierce Resistance. And then we'll bring in Rain for Shinsha. So, that's, what? So 15, 30, 45% alt gauge right there from these 3 charm effects, alongside this 45% here. So people are going to have nice alts after this turn is over. So, and the space attack is for 3 turns, which will definitely help us out. Especially when we lower the space resistance and we use the crit and everything. So there's that. So 75 points back to us. And we will do the debuff for 2 turns right here. And we'll use the Pierce Power from Xion. And then I think we'll just sit here and we'll send these Rain Orbs because they're going to get us the most for her. And then we'll watch the alt gauges fill up. And a bunch of oranges, which might be nerfed this turn. Oh, counterattack. Alright, cool. Yep, there we go. And now charm. Boom. Boom. Alts for days. So we have the space attack buff still. We've got the Pierce, we've got the charms going on. We can do the instant damage, or we can just do the crit. So I think we do the crit instead, because we're already doing everything else over there. So now, Rain has the 15% space attack for 2 more turns. She has extra crit damage. She's doing crits. She's got 2 more turns from Romulus's extra alt gauge. And then the enemy has Pierce resistance down, space resistance down, and crit resistance down. And we have 3 AoE alts. So this should do pretty good damage right here. Pretty good damage. Alright, so Rain, 19,000. Okay. The hero, 30,000 damage. And then Xion does... right, we never watched this yet. She cooks up something delightful for you. Heartful Gifter. I don't think I ever realized that name. 50k. Alright, and then we do that. Cool. So there we go. There's that. And now, because we still have the charm effects on, and we still have the vitalization going on, we're going to get another alt for Xion. And we already have an alt for the hero, so it doesn't really matter. And boom, and boom. And we almost have another alt for Rain. If we had that extra charm effect from Sufia, we would have gotten it. But hers is only a 1 turn, while the others are 3 turns. So, let's go ahead and give us some more points. Put some more space attack on, which doesn't matter. They don't stack like that. But, we can do... ooh. What can we do? What ran out? So we have the Pierce debuff on. We don't have this one anymore, because that's only for 2 turns. Alright, so let's do that. We're not going to crit again, because we don't have enough points. But let's do the instant damage. 9,000 right there. And then we'll AoE. And we might finish this. I don't know. I don't know if we actually will. 19,000 kills Valentine. Cool. Xion still has a Pierce buff. 33,000. 4,800 and a cheeky counter. That gets the alt for Rain. And she guards that, of course, because why not? But we still have the charms going on. Which means... alts. There we go. So that was the fun of Space 3.0, is just consistently having alt gauge at the end of the turn, so you can just keep doing this over and over and over again. So we'll send it one more time, and I think that's gonna do it for this, and probably do it for the video. I can't really take her very many places. 19,000. Shion, I don't think has her Pierce anymore. No, but we clear anyways, so. There we go. She can definitely help out space teams, especially the AoE-focused space teams that we have been getting. Also, Valentine is another AoE unit. But she is a physical unit, which wouldn't help this specific team. She would help... Actually, no, she wouldn't. Because she's only buffing those 2 teams. Never mind. So Valentine wouldn't be a good put with the new space meta. Alright, well, there's Rain, guys. I can finally say that I showed her off with my own account on the channel. So, yeah, she's an interesting unit. Not the greatest thing in the world. Definitely very specific usage. But she can help you do a little bit extra damage with those 2 the debuff and the buff going on your team. As long as you're running a crit-focused team. Because if I had taken the hero off, then we would have had the space resistance down, which would have been cool, because they're all space units, but we wouldn't have gotten anything off that crit damage unless we naturally crit. So, she's a support unit. It's just unfortunate that her first skill does harm herself by 25% of her HP. So, there we go. Let me know what you guys think, but that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.